33 days have passed since the Sewol-ho ferry sank off Korea's southwestern coast, taking with it the lives of hundreds of people, many of whom were high school students. And on this Monday, President Park Geun-hye, in a nationally televised address that ended up being a tearful one, apologized for the disaster and laid out measures to bolster national safety. As our correspondent Choi Yoo-sun reports, topping the list was dismantling the country's Coast Guard.
이번 사고에 제대로 대처하지 못한 최종 책임은 대통령인 저에게 있습니다.
For the first time since the Sewol-ho ferry accident last month, President Park directly apologized to the nation. It came amid criticism of her previous apologies, as many people felt she wasn't taking full responsibility as the head of state. Saying that the Coast Guard had failed to fulfill its duties in swiftly attending to the passengers of the sinking ferry, President Park said she was dissolving the organization.
국가안전처를 만들어 각 부처에 분산된 안전 관련 조직을 통합하고 지휘 체계를 일원화해서 육상과 해상에서 일어나는 모든 유형의 재난에 현장 중심으로 대응할 수 있는 체제를 만들겠습니다.
President Park also talked about cutting off ties between the public sector and private entities. Claims of cronyism between the two have been blamed for the government's insufficient and lax handling of the disaster. She suggested tripling the number of public organizations and affiliates that are barred from employing retired public employees and extending the period after which retired workers can return to the workforce. Regarding the punishment of those linked to the ferry disaster, the president seemingly took account of what the victims' families requested during a meeting at the presidential office last week.
필요하다면 특검을 해서 모든 진상을 낱낱이 밝혀내고 엄정하게 처벌할 것입니다. 그리고 여야와 민간이 참여하는 진상조사위원회를 포함한 특별법을 만들 것도 제안합니다.
As she read out the names of some of the ferry victims, President Park said that she will not leave their deaths in vain and designate April 16, the day of the sinking, as a day to remember their sacrifices. Choi Yoo-sun, Arirang News.